Today we're going to be learning how to change the oil in this 2009 Volkswagen. I'm going to be explaining how to do this and also why all this stuff's important and the major things that you want to try to either do or avoid in this process. Your car might differ from mine just a little bit, but this video is more to get the main idea across to everyone and help gain a better understanding of why all this stuff is important. Okay, so first of all, we're going to want to take off our engine cover, which I already had off in the first shot. But almost all engine covers are as simple as just pulling them off. This way we can access things like our oil filter and have a less chance of spilling things everywhere for getting the oil in our actual oil cap. Okay, so first thing we're going to want to do is take off our oil cap so we can let air into the system. This is important because when we pull the drain plug, we want air to be able to replace the oil so it drains faster and we can get it all out. Next, if your oil filter is on top, which in most cars they are, here's an example of an oil filter that's underneath the car. But you're going to want to grab you an oil filter wrench. Most people probably have one like this that grab on their pliers, but I'm going to be using this cup wrench because it's way easier. And get back once it's off. Okay, so one thing you're going to want to take note of is when you lift up your oil filter, it is going to be full of oil. This one not so much because it's been sitting all day, but you want to hold it upright until you can sit it in an oil drain pan, which you're going to want to have handy during this project. And there's our empty oil filter spot. Okay, so now here's our new oil filter. We can just screw it in, and what you're going to want to do is get this just a little bit past hand tight. This does not have to be on there that hard. Obviously enough so it doesn't leak, but don't go leaning all your weight into the wrench either. So here we go. Alright, so you guys saw me hand tighten it. Taking one half turn, one more half turn, and then that's on there. Okay, so now comes the hard part. We're going to need to get the car off the ground because this car is so low. We're going to need a little bit of access to get to the drain pan. If you have a truck, this might not be necessary. You could probably crawl under there anyway. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to raise it up so I can show you guys all the important stuff. Okay, so we are under the car and we have located our oil pan. Right there's our drain plug that we're going to unscrew to be able to get all of our oil out. Now most cars have a belly pan. This one has only half of one, but it can normally be covering your oil pan, so you're going to probably need to unscrew yours if you have one, but this one does not. Also, you want to make sure that you don't get your oil pan mixed up for the transmission drain. A lot of cars, there's two different trays and they look the exact same. The main way to tell is that the oil pan has a way more simple bolt on it, unlike this one. It's kind of a strange looking thing. Also, your oil pan is going to be directly underneath the engine and the oil filter that you just replaced. The next thing you're going to want to do is assess what size the drain plug is. On foreign cars, it's going to be in millimeters, and in American cars, it's going to be in quarters of an inch. So just thumb through your sockets until you can find something that fits. Okay, so now we can see our oil is draining, and this is why it was important that we took the cap off first. Because if we didn't, this would be glugging like you do if you hold a water bottle upside down. Now it's a nice easy flow. Make sure you've got your oil pan underneath. Okay, once your oil has started dripping or become a string-like thickness, you can just go ahead and put your new drain bolt in because you're just not going to get it all out of there. Okay, one important thing to note is this washer. You're going to want to save the one that you kept from taking this bolt off, and if you don't have one, you're going to want to go down to the auto parts store and get one. The important thing is is that you tighten this up enough where the washer is actually getting crushed and smushed around the edges of the bolt. This will keep it from leaking. Okay, now that you've tightened that down enough to crush the washer, we can just wipe up any extra oil we got, and we are done underneath the car. Alright, so now the question comes up, how much oil do we put in and what type? Well, normally it would tell you what kind on the engine cap right there, but ours does not have that, nor do we know how much to put in. So let's take it on over here to Google, and there we go, 4.75 quarts, 5W30. Let's not overcomplicate guys things, we're just gonna Google it anyway. Okay, so here we have a quart of the kind of oil we need. We're going to put in 4 of these, and then they almost always have measurement on the sides. So it's 4.75. We're going to leave this 3/4 of the way full on the 5th one. And then we're just going to put our cap back on. And then we're done. Remember to put that cap back on though, that's very important. Because if you don't, oil will spray everywhere. That's why I always keep it right here on the trunk latch. So when I go to close the trunk, I notice it before it's too late. One thing you can do just as an extra step is reset your oil light so it doesn't continuously tell you you need to change your oil even if you already have. On this car, you just turn it on and hold the 00. I've already reset it. And that's it, but other cars are different, so you're gonna have to Google how to do it for yourself. And we are officially done with our oil change.